turn this humble cow trough into a backyard oasis with the Swimley Stock Tank Pool Starter Kit. So before you start, you want to find a nice flat level spot in your yard, and if it's not perfectly level, a few bags of play sand can help to level it out. All right, now that we've picked the perfect place for our tank, it's time to pick the perfect place for our filter pump. I prefer to put mine out of the way, kind of behind where you can't see it. Next, we're going to choose the location for the fittings. Now when you're picking this, you want to make sure you've picked a flat, rib-free area about 12 inches from the top of the tank. And you also want to make sure they're not too far apart from the width of your hoses. So you'll want to find a spot that is big enough to accommodate the fitting, again about 12 inches from the top of the tank and about 4 by 4 inches square. We'll mark it, and then I'll do like a circle around it. And remember folks, safety first. Want your safety glasses and your safety gloves. That'll shield you from the roar of your own DIY backyard success and the occasional flying metal shards. A good reason for the gloves, this metal will get really, really hot. So you want to keep those gloves on. All right, so here are the fittings. This is the inlet, so water is going to come in from the pool into the filter pump, and this is your outlet, and then water is going to come out of the filter pump and into the tank. So you want to make sure you get these in the right spot with your filter pump. We designed these proprietary fittings just for stock tank pools. They have interchangeable parts for multiple functions. This filter changing cap swaps in easily, so you can change your filters without ending up with a backyard full of water. Now, unlike these big bulky fittings right here, we designed the Swimley fitting to sit flush on the side of the tank. So when you install the fittings, you want to make sure you leave the black rubber washer on, but take the nut off first. Then we're going to put the fitting in from the inside of the tank, again with the black rubber washer facing the tank, then slide it through and tighten on your nut. Now you'll want to hand tighten it as much as you can, but don't use tools because you might over tighten it or break it. Now if you're the extra cautious type, you can even add a bead of silicone on the front and back of the black washer for extra water tightness. And when it's time to change your filter pump, use these handy filter changing caps to keep from flooding your backyard. So we'll just remove the outlet adapter on this side and install the filter changing cap like this. We'll do the same thing with the inlet. And this way, you don't need to have any pesky valves outside of your tank. So let's talk about hoses. You're either going to have a 1.5 inch hose like this or a 1.25 inch hose like this. For 1.5 inch hoses, we can actually go and thread them directly on the fittings just like this. So for 1.25 inch hoses, you're going to want to use these 2 gray adapters that came with the kit. The adapter simply connects directly to the fitting like this. Then connect your hose just like this. So next, we'll connect the other end of the hose to the pump and secure it with these collars. So next, let's talk about how the lovely vacuum system works. You're going to start by assembling the vacuum head. So now that we've connected the vacuum head pieces together, next we'll attach the pole. And lastly, we'll attach the vacuum hose to the top. So next, we'll connect our vacuum adapter to the inlet and then connect the hose to the vacuum adapter. So with the vacuum, You'll be able to suck all that dirt and gunk off the bottom. All right, and the next step is to fill your pool. It's gonna take about 4 to 6 hours to fill this puppy up, so we're gonna hop the fence to our neighbors where they already have a full pool, and we'll film the rest of the video there. All right, once your pool's filled and everything's installed, the last thing you want to do is check for leaks around your fittings. If you have a little dribble, just give that nut an extra twist and it'll tighten right up. And you might want to check in another 12 to 24 hours because sometimes those rubber washers like to settle in. All right, party people, let's have some real talk. While it's a horse trough, it is a pool, and you have to think about pool safety, especially with kids. Never leave a kid unattended at a pool. Not to grab a snack, not to grab a drink, not for a quick text. Supervision isn't optional, it's mandatory. Be a lifeguard, not a lawn chair. And that's it, you did it. You turned a cow trough into glorious backyard bliss. Now you're a DIY legend.